Alright, what's up everyone? Duquesne23 here with ForgeHub, and today we're taking a look at the map called Winter Blitz. Now, if you do want to check out this map, the bookmark link will be in the description down below, and also be sure to subscribe right here, because we come out with these little walkthroughs of these Forge maps all the time, and so you get to see a nice variety of Forge maps that the community is making. So let's go ahead and jump in and check out this map, and just from the start you could tell it just feels cold. Like whenever you look around on the map, it's just cold. Like it has that blue hue and everything a lot of times around, and it's just, you know, all the snow and the sounds of the cold wind blowing and the ice cracking. They did a really good job with just the feeling and the you know, atmosphere of this map. And if you notice on the outside of the map, I love looking at the outside and see what people have built, and they build like a nice little section with, you know, just we got frozen water here, and it goes out into more just cold areas out over there. So let's go ahead and now walk in, look at the map. Love some of the cool aesthetics of stuff like this around the map. It's pretty neat just adding just things like that just to provide a little bit of movement on the map, so not everything is just stagnant and still. It provides a little something of movement. Got a noob cube there, fantastic choice. We got multiple different elevations and levels, as well as different pathways to kind of escape around. Now, in case you were wondering what type of map is this for 2 to 8 players, and you can have like all the normal core modes on this map. Now, just going around looking at this, I know y'all saw in some of the fly-throughs at the beginning there was flood, like it's some sort of like flood containment experiment thing going on, which this one, it looks like it's all frozen. Kind of frozen over. This is like the, I guess, colder side of the base, you know, a little bit where all this type of stuff is frozen over. It's pretty cool. And this kind of looks like it's like the doors are closed right there compared to this. I know they're not the same size and everything, but that just what it just immediately popped into my head. But I love the details of the walls and just changing up some of the stuff, even though it is a little bit different. We got some alien fauna here. Just some weird little stuff growing through the snow there. Let's try to stick to the outside though, just so, you know, we don't necessarily pick up everything else, you know, see everything else that's in the center and miss something on the outside. So it looks like you can actually jump around this corner right here, which that's a really cool idea. Having something like that just around the corner just it takes a little bit of skill, like not that much, but it's just in the sense of you can't necessarily, like while you're like shooting, and you can't jump without actually like trying to jump that gap there. So it's just something a little bit different. And look at this right here. Oh, we have ourselves a you know, some more stuff, like outside viewing area here where you can see the other side of the map. And I love the fog that they placed out on here. It just has that very ominous look to it, as well as like you're kind of inside a cave right here. This is definitely really nice. I love what they did with that. So you can jump that without having to clamber, which is nice, and you have another jump over on this side. So this does seem like it's a symmetrical map here, but each side of course has a little bit different. That has a little bit more snow. Ice is kind of, you know, forming over a lot of the structure. You know, there's still ice and stuff forming on this structure, but it seems like less, since these flood infected forms and stuff like that are actually not frozen over right here. So it looks like this is breaking. The door's breaking. It's kind of leaking out and oozing out of this containment unit here. That's really cool. I love how they did that. I love whenever people incorporate the flood in their maps, because the flood is just awesome. And I just want to see it back in Halo, and I just absolutely love the way it looks and how creepy it is. So here's another wall on that side. I say let's just go ahead and now go towards the center, since this is a, you know, symmetrical map. So pretty much all the stuff on this side, although it'll be just a different color basically on here. Oh, never mind. Look at that. The flood is kind of coming through the rocks here. That is really neat. I love the way that looks right there. So flood's coming in. We got this side over here, and of course over on that side is where I started, right over there. But yeah, that is really cool. I love how they have the flood coming through the rocks right here. So this is definitely really nice. And one thing I do like about this map, it's kind of dark, but at the same time, Oh, look at this right here. This is kind of neat. It's kind of dark, but you know, like in the sense of it seems like sun-wise, it's not like the sun is blaring down or anything like that, but still has plenty of readability and stuff. Okay, so you could drop down here, pick up the sniper rifle, and then you could head out here. So, but you know, it's plenty of readability. Like, it's still bright enough to where it's not real dark. I know some people, some of the map features that I've done, people I have gone, man, this map is just really dark. And you know, so that is something that about this map, it is very bright. But it's not like the sun is like blaring through. If you notice, it's covered by kind of the frost and the clouds and stuff like that there. So this is really interesting. Having splits right here. Can't throw a nade through there. Ouchies. I'll try to, you know, nope, that was bad. It's a lot harder to throw nades whenever you don't have a HUD on right now, like, because it's harder to aim, at least for me personally. So but I bet you could probably shoot, and you might be able to throw a nade through there. I tried for a second, you know. You can shoot through there and stuff. You might be able to throw nades through that right there. So that's still pretty neat though. Are they able to do that? Oh, look at this. You can actually drop down onto that point. That is really neat. So if you're up here and you want to drop down to right here, where I was just kind of throwing nades and stuff, that is really cool that they have that little drop down spot right there. So love the different levels and the different elevations on this map. Like, you have this lower section here, but you have all these, also these upper sections right here. Can you actually get up here? Yes, you can get all the way up top here. You got an equipment piece right here, and this is just kind of just up here. It doesn't really go to anything. But it just kind of is up here as a spot to, you know, you can jump up and sneak up on people if they're not expecting you down there. So that's definitely really cool. And oh, okay, it connects right over here as well. So this is, I love the design of this. This is really nice, beautiful aesthetics. I love what they've done with this map. So if you do want to check it out, the bookmark link is in the description down below. So you can check out the map there and play with your friends. I hope you all enjoyed this. Subscribe for more of these little walkthroughs of Forge maps, because I love showing the detail that these forgers put in on their maps. But thank you all, everyone, for coming out. Appreciate it. And remember, let's forge a new Halo.